We all knew this was coming, right? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel again. Ghislaine Maxwell offers to testify before Congress, but with major conditions, including immunity. Now, they already gave her, some immunity, but not full immunity. I already knew there was going to be something very strategic happening with her team. And it's, again, she may have a lot of names to give or people to throw under the bus, but at the same time, is she going to name everybody? I just feel like right now she can't be trusted, and because it should have happened already. It should have happened. I forget how old she is, but she is serving 20 years right now. But if she doesn't say, or I'll go back to the pardon again. If she gets pardoned, then we already know what it is. I just feel right now they're being very strategic, and her having major conditions. Come on, man. We all can see right through this. What are they going to do? How long is this going to take to play out? We ain't going to waste no more time. Let's jump right into it.
We are following some breaking news for you now. The attorney for convicted Ghislaine Maxwell says his client is willing to testify in front of Congress, but there is a catch. So we want to bring in CBS News Justice reporter Jake Rosen. He's following this from Washington. Okay, we'll testify before lawmakers, but a catch. What is the catch?
There are a couple, Reed. The first of which is that they want full immunity in front of this committee in case.
And there it is. Full immunity. Like, do y'all know how huge that is? Think about it. She gets full immunity and a pardon. Oh, I know these comments are going to be brutal.
This testimony happens to unearth any new developments that could potentially be incriminating for Miss Maxwell. In a letter that was sent to Congressman James Comer, who heads the Republican-led Oversight Committee, which subpoenaed Maxwell last week, Attorney David Marcus, who represents Maxwell, said that they want immunity first. They would like to see any kind of questions that are asked of her ahead of time because of, quote, torturous conditions and an unconstitutional detention is what they've been arguing. They also say that any...
Really? They're talking about the conditions she's having while she's behind bars. Wow. I mean, did she forget what she's convicted for? Think about the lifetime scars you left these people. It's amazing to me how people I told you, people be feeling so invincible. They don't think that these things are going to happen. Even when they go to jail, they kind of think like, I'm about to get up out of here. I ain't going to be in here for too long. And my whole thing is like, you are sitting up here. Think about that. You're complaining about the conditions, but everything seemed fine when you were doing what you was doing. You know what I mean? You were thinking you weren't going to get caught, not ever be in jail.
Conversations would also likely need to happen after Maxwell's SCOTUS appeal is finalized. That is not going to happen for a number of months, likely until potentially late this fall or the end of this year. And in addition to that, Reed, they also don't rule out the possibility of testimony earlier if President Trump commutes Maxwell's sentence or potentially pardons her, saying that, of course, under those circumstances, they would be willing to kind of leave what we just discussed aside and come to the table earlier. This deposition was supposed supposed to happen on August 11th, and it looks increasingly likely that that is not going to happen.
All right, and I'm also reading they're saying Miss Maxwell did not receive a fair trial. How are they making that argument?
That's right. In the initial trial for Maxwell, there was a conversation under Jeffrey Epstein's first plea agreement in which he made with the U.S. Attorney's Office in Florida, in which attorneys in that office who led that investigation promised Epstein in 2007, when he came to that agreement, that no co-conspirators would be charged if he accepted that deal, which he did. However, a separate investigation was started in the Southern District of New York in New York City, in which the charges against Epstein later obviously resulting in his incarceration, and Maxwell's now guilty conviction and now prison sentence. They argue that because that promise was made in Florida by a U.S. attorney, it should have applied to the new investigation, and where that resulted in Maxwell's conviction. Certainly there was some buy-in from a judge upon appeal, and the Supreme Court is going to have to sort out whether it is the case that it's possible that promises like that are actually, more than just a handshake agreement that the government can pull back on, or a binding agreement that should have applied to Maxwell and her conviction.
Yeah, I'm reading these words from Maxwell's attorney. Criticisms that she failed to testify at trial ignore the reality. He says she was, at the time of her trial, physically and mentally broken, denied even the most basic conditions needed to meaningfully defend herself and give evidence. This one's far from over. Jake Rosen, good to talk to you, my friend.
Let me look at some of the comments here, because my whole thing is like, someone said, all they're doing is laying the grounds for a pardon. She's asking for full immunity, and she's complaining that basically she's basically saying, you guys weren't supposed to charge me for what I did. Like, everybody's saying no immunity. I'm willing to let her do 20 years. She wants complete immunity so she can lie without the threat of being charged with lying under oath. Just say no. Man. Maxwell's testimony is not credible. She will do or say anything to avoid accountability. It is interesting to see the reactions of those involved. They said now that Trump's lawyer and DOJ assistant director spent 2 days prepping Maxwell, release the files. Didn't I say that? I said they're going to be prepping her. I feel like right now she's going to do what they're asking for, and I'm just hoping. I keep posting these videos because I want y'all. I hope that you guys are seeing through this. I just really hope that you guys are seeing through this and not being fooled. I mean, looking at some of the comments, everybody seems to see right through it. But man, I'm telling y'all, if she gets pardoned, we are doomed. We are doomed. Because it means like you can't touch these people. I'm going to say it again, something big is coming. Just brace yourselves, y'all. Brace yourselves. Because she's definitely going to make some people do some quick head turns. People's heads about to be spinning. She's pulling out all the stops for freedom. Someone said, pardon a groomer. Wow. I just want to know, what is she going to say? What will she say? Is it gonna be in like the first sentence, or you gonna be like, oh no, forget this, it's done, you know? Mm-mm-mm. Stay focused. All right, peace out.